Hello, ladies and gentlemen. If you're looking for some tips and tricks on college, then watch this video all the way through, because that's exactly what I'm going to be talking about today. And basically, in specific, I want to talk about what the experience will be like. So, if you're somebody who's going to be new to college soon, maybe next semester, or whenever you go to college, maybe you're 15 right now and you'll be going in 3 years, I still want you to watch this video so that way you have a general idea of what education is like and what decision you should make to continue your life in a positive direction. So, a little bit about myself. This makes sense. I'm telling you this now so that way it makes sense when I explain things later on in the video. I am somebody who's going into college for business administration. So if you're especially one of those type of people, I would recommend watching this video, because I want to tell you a few things which weren't outlined to me when I first started thinking about going to college, and I want to let you guys know what is the current situation with the education system. So, if you're somebody like me who is wanting to become a business owner, I would say that college isn't the right place for you, but it also is. And don't make the assumption that when you go into college and you want to go into that major, that they're going to give you the framework of being a business owner. They don't. They give you the mainframe for being a manager, right? Because, well, most people become managers, so it makes sense. However, it doesn't fulfill the needs of people like me and you who want to become entrepreneurs, who want to actually own something of their own, who want to create something for themselves and others, obviously, because that's what business is. But I want to outline into this video why you should still go, even though it seems very pointless and annoying. Like, I hate it, because I've always been somebody who gets really good grades, and I've always been able to grasp things, concepts, and whatever very well. So for me, sitting there and listening to a guy talking about how to manage diversity within your own business is stupid. Because, well, for starters, why don't people just let it die out? I say it as in racism and whatever isms you could think of, right? These people giving life to these criticisms of other people aren't really doing their job, right? Because think about it like this. MLK died for the purpose of creating equal opportunities for black people to get jobs, and also just general daily life shit, because I mean, you've seen the pictures in your history class, right? So if he died for the whole purpose of ending it, and, well, the government did end it, why bring the concept back up? I mean, yeah, sure, there's going to be people that practice that kind of thing still, but ultimately, you should know that as a person, they are going to be failures. Because if they can't distinguish the fact that skill is reliant above personal desires, then they're never going to run a good business. They're never going to be successful. They're never going to reach the goals they want to reach. And so what does that have to do with college anyways? So if you're somebody that wants to go to college, right, there's going to be things like that which are pretty stupid. It's going to teach you concepts that you do need to know, like accounting, right, and law. Like, those are things that you genuinely do need to know. Anyways, I had to cut that out because there's an oversized truck in the way. So there's important concepts like accounting and business law, which will be taught in college for people that want to become business administrators. And those concepts are very important for somebody to learn, because they may not know that beforehand. Because I don't know business law very well. I have a decent idea of accounting, but I don't really know how to interpret the law and do stuff like that. So to be able to at least do that for my own sake is an important skill, and you can learn something like that too, which ultimately you can learn outside of college. It's just more difficult finding. The entry access is higher, right? And what I mean is it's not higher in terms of price, but it's higher in terms of intellect. You need to be very smart to be able to go and gather these resources for yourself, right? Although you can also just find it on a YouTube video like this one, where I'm telling you what's going on and how to help yourselves make the best decision for you. So if you already have somebody who is a lawyer and who's an accountant in your family, and you just learn from those two, then I mean, you don't really have much else to learn. I mean, as long as you're able to hire somebody based off their own ethics and capabilities, then you'll be good to go, right? And another thing that college isn't going to really try to teach you is how to manage people, right? That's a very specific to psychology kind of thing. So for somebody that's trying to become a business owner, you kind of have to do a little bit of your own research, right? Because yeah, well, it's great to learn how to talk to people, and it's great to learn how to negotiate in a way. Well, A, read the book Never Split the Difference. It'll change your perspective on negotiating forever. And number two, it's not always about trying to talk to people to get information, right? Because that's what a lot of people make conversations out to be. They always try to get something from the other person, when in reality you can just have a conversation. Now, I'm not saying have small talk, because nobody likes small talk, but I'm saying try to make it so whatever you're saying is important, but doesn't necessarily inherit value from the other person. It doesn't mean that you have to say something in order for them to give you something. It's not give and take, it's just give. Because ultimately, the universe is very giving, and the people that give the most get the most. Now, another thing I want to point beyond that is that taking is not something that is natural for human beings. We naturally tend to give, and giving is the only thing that truly exists in our world. You can't actually take. I don't know if you ever noticed this, but even in like a depression, right? We gave them no money, and they gave us no value in return, right? Even in inflation, they gave us too much money, so we gave it too little value in return, right? And even when it comes down to emotional, psychological issues, you can see how you can change your own fact pattern from give and take to give and give. Because ultimately, that's how the world works. The world never... taking was an idea originated from nobody. Because everybody wants to take. At least from what I've... But not everybody wants to give. So next time you think about running a business or going to a college, think about what you're giving, not what they're taking. Okay? Because you should be giving something of value, so that way they can give you something of value as well. It's almost always an equal trade, except for exponential things like running a business, because they're different, right? Because essentially you're gifting to 1,000 people, and those 1,000 people are going to be gifting back to you, which is why it's exponential for the one person. I'm sure you've heard the famous example of, if you give a friend a chocolate bar for $1 and you have 1,000 friends, you can get $1,000, right? It's a very simple example, but maybe it comes down to monthly recurring bills, right? Or maybe it comes down to how you pay your clients, stuff like that. And with that comes the associated value, which in return is giving. So even if you think that this is irrelevant to you and you're in college, you'll understand that in the future it actually is. Because giving is the most important thing you can do as an individual person, and it is entirely and totally in your control. Now I'm going to end this video here. I hope that it has provided you with some information of value, and if it has, go ahead and subscribe for me, like for me, so that way I know. And don't be afraid to comment anything you feel about the video. With that out of the way, y'all have a good one.